Let's rewind back to July of 2022 for today's SheetLoad of Cards. Hey, it's Beth. Welcome. Today I'm excited to be part of the SheetLoad Rewind team. So each month Alicia from Call Me Crafty Owl pulls out an old SheetLoad of Cards sketch from the vault, and the collaborators create with that SheetLoad. This month, the SheetLoad from the past is July of 2022. So it's a fun one. I like the element with the square and the triangles in the center. If you do not have the July 2022 SheetLoad from the past, there's a link in the description box below that you can click on, and Alicia will tell you how you can get this particular SheetLoad printable. Also in that playlist, there is a link to the playlist for the other collaborators creating with this SheetLoad. This is a two-part video for me. It's part of the SheetLoad Rewind, but it's also my 12 months of Christmas challenge project. So this is something I do with my friend Kathy over on Instagram. Her link for Stampin' Cat will be in the description box below as well. But each month I'm just creating a Christmas project. So I am combining these two today, and I am going to make a SheetLoad of Christmas cards. I pulled out this cute snowman pattern here and thought it might be refreshing in the middle of a hot, sweltering, humid July to create with snowman. So that's what I'm going to be using today. So let's get crafting. I went ahead and cut all of my pieces down already, and I just need to take the square element and cut it in half diagonally to get the two triangles. So I just line them up with both of the, or two of the diagonal points in line with the wire on my trimmer, and then kind of put my blade in the center and then move it up and down. That's the easiest way that I have found to do this. But be sure to watch Alicia's videos below, the video linked in the description box below. She always has great tips and tricks on when she introduces the SheetLoad, on how to, some of the best ways to cut down your paper, or like some hacks that you can do. So next I need to figure out which two patterns I want to pair together for each card. So I just kind of play with the patterns and figure out which ones, I mean, they're all going to get used, but which ones I want to go with which and on top or bottom. So once I figure that out, I can go ahead and get all those glued down and then start matching them up with the rest of my cards. As I mentioned earlier, this is my 12 months of Christmas challenge video as well, and it's just something I do for myself to make sure I'm working on Christmas projects throughout the year rather than saving them all until the holiday season, whether it's holiday items for our fall and winter craft shows, or items for myself, or Christmas cards for myself or for donation. I just kind of found that I would get into the craziness of the holiday season and still had all of these projects that I wanted to try and do and would never get to most of them. So I decided to do this challenge for myself, mainly to hold myself accountable. And then, like I said before, my friend Kathy, who is Stampin' Cat over on Instagram, has decided to join with me, and she is working on her Christmas cards throughout the year so that when the holiday season rolls around, she is just ready to send them out and doesn't have to do all of that work when things get crazy. Now that I have all of my triangles down, I will do the rest of them off camera. I created a black mat, cardstock mat for the card. This was not on the sketch. It's 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. And then the patterned pieces, I ended up making 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And that's just so that you would see more of the black mat. And I did this because one of my patterns, like that white sweater, I didn't want it to be up against the white of the card, and I just liked how you have like a pattern and then you have a dark border and then you have the white border. It just kind of makes everything pop. So that is why I chose to go that route. So I'm going to layer each of the patterns onto a card base and then figure out which set of triangles goes on which pattern, and really I just want to make sure that each card has each of the 3 patterns. So to embellish, I found some fun little snowmen clip art on Creative Fabrica that I will link below if I can find it again. And then I have this sentiment from A Love from Lizzie stamp set. It's the most wonderful time of the year is the sentiment, and then I'm going to use a black mat behind my sentiment as well. And so I'm kind of deviating from the sketch a little bit here too. I'm still adding my sentiment off to the right hand side. The sketch called for an oval shape, but since I was using a circle for my snowman ephemera piece, I thought I would keep the sentiment more of a straight line. So I do have scrap cardstock behind it so that when it kind of hangs off the right side of that square element in the middle, it will kind of still stay even. And then you can't really see it, but on the back of my snowman circle, I also have some scrap cardstock pieces so that it also lays even. So I will go ahead and do the rest of these off camera, and then I will share them with you when I'm done. So here are my finished 12 cards that I made with the July 2022 SheetLoad Rewind. I made one of these, I think, with you guys on camera. And then I do have scraps on the insides of all the cards, so that finished with the 2 bonus cards I'll show you here in a minute. That finished off all 3 sheets of the 12 by 12 pattern paper I used. And then here are the other 2 versions of the cards. I think they turned out really cute. And then here are the 2 bonus cards I made with the strips that I had after cutting down the pattern paper. I just cut them down, I think like 3.5 inches maybe, and then did fishtails, lined them up together, used some of my scrap black cardstock that I had, stamped my greeting down here on the bottom, and then added one more of the snowmen. And these have scraps inside as well. So hope you guys enjoyed my rewind. Again, be sure to check out the playlist to see everyone else's rewind back to July of 2022. Thank you all so very much for your time, and I hope you all have a very crafty day.